welcome to our Christmas 2025 home tour. The house is looking so festive. We are ready for Christmas and I can't wait to take you in and show you the finished product. So it's cold out here. Let's go on in. First thing I wanted to show you that you didn't see in any of the decorating videos is this live wreath that's on the back of our front door. Joe's mom has kind of started a tradition where she gives us a live wreath and some sort of a centerpiece every year for Christmas. So it's so much fun. I love live greenery. It would be hard to do it all throughout the house, but I just love the feel and the texture and most importantly, the smell when you walk through the door. It just greets you and it's so lovely. It's such a wonderful tradition. I look forward to it every year. Sometime around the 1st of December, it just shows up on our front door. So if you're looking for a gift idea for someone, this is a really great one. When you come into our house, you're usually greeted by pups at the front door, which is there a better greeting? And then the first room that you come into off of the foyer is our living room. It used to be our dining room, but we switched it to our living room. It's a little bit smaller, but it's very cozy. Instead of having the TV over the mantle, which we used to have, it's lower, so it's easier to watch. And it puts our dining room more centrally located. Before, our dining room was just like this room that we never went into. We decorated the table, but we never really ate there. And now that it's really in between the kitchen and the living room, we walk through it every day. We sit there a lot. I still set the table pretty formally, but we also eat there and it's just a lot of fun. So if you saw our Christmas living room decorating video, you saw a lot of this stuff. I decorated the tree, I used the plaid pillows, we hung up the curtains. But something that you did not see that's new that came after the video is this telescope behind me. And I'm not even sure where I got the idea. I'm sure that I saw some sort of inspiration photo, but when I was looking at the curtains and the Chesterfield sofa and the plaid pillows, I thought, we just need a gold telescope right there in that corner, like a tall telescope. And I love the idea of like looking for Santa into the sky. So I don't know, I just think it added a sweet little touch and it's really beautiful. That's new that you might notice is the clock behind me on the wall. So we moved some pictures around so that we could hang this clock up. It was given to us by Joe's dad, who is a clock collector. It's a hobby for him. He has a ton of clocks. He really enjoys it. This was one of his favorites, I think, and it's one that Joe always saw at his house and really liked it. So it's a real honor for him to give that to us. We went to Florida to see Joe's mom and dad at Thanksgiving, and we came back home with the clock. So the very next day we were excited. We couldn't wait to hang it up in the living room, and we love to hear it chime. It makes us think of him every time. About Mike and Alice, our kindness elves. So around the 1st of December, a little door appears somewhere in our house, usually up high over a door casing or on the mantle, and it stays there until the 25th of December, until Jesus' birthday. And somewhere sitting in the house are 2 little kindness elves named Mike and Alice. We know that because Santa sent us a letter to tell us that kindness elves come from the North Pole. They are the smallest elves of all. In fact, they are so small that their voices cannot be heard by human ears. And they fly back to the North Pole every night and they tell Santa all about the kind things that Eloise did that day. And it's just such a fun tradition for our family. Eloise loves waking up every morning and looking around the house to see where they're at that morning. We think the door is maybe like a portal that they fly in and out of at night, and that's how they get to the North Pole so quick. We're not sure, but we think that's what it is. So I have to talk about our Christmas tree. The last time you were here, you saw me putting real magnolia leaves into the tree. I have since replaced those with fake magnolia leaves. And I will say that, I think they're pretty realistic. I think they're pretty believable. I have not gotten all of them in the mail yet. They were a really slow shipping time. But I've replaced quite a few of them. It was perfect timing because my real magnolia leaves have started to die out and get crispy. I think they still look beautiful dry like that. I'm just worried that they're a fire hazard. So I knew when I put them in that they would dry and that I would be replacing them with the faux stems. But I think they're really realistic. I will say that faux flowers and faux stems have really been upgraded. So I have found some, and I'm not typically like a faux stem, faux flower kind of girl, but I have found some that are absolutely beautiful just from Amazon. So I don't think I will probably ever buy a real hydrangea again. If you type in real touch hydrangea, there are some excellent options. Now you may have to order several to find one that actually feels real and looks real, but they're gorgeous. They are actually pretty expensive, so you can expect to pay like $7 to $20 a stem. But if you use them over and over again, it may be worth the investment. So just something to consider. I feel like the magnolia leaves turned out pretty good. I always do a really traditional red and green tree, but since I was going for more of a Ralph Lauren theme this year, I decided to eliminate the gold ornaments that I normally use and add in more natural elements and textures. So I don't normally do pine cones or the magnolia leaves, but I thought adding those in would give, more of that Ralph Lauren feel. Not really sure why I think that. The red berries as well, I think helps. And sticking to the red monochromatic theme, I think was helpful to really hone in on that Ralph Lauren theme. And then I always use this crushed red velvet ribbon, which I think just adds luxury, like just overall. So I think that works for any theme. It's just a traditional Christmas, so I think you can use that for any. I've always used the red ribbon and the red mercury glass. I think those two things are really just timeless. Another thing that I added this year, a natural element that I feel like picked up on the blue that's in the Pottery Barn Lynbrook plaid that I use on the pillowcases and the table runners. I call them table runners, but they're actually scarves, but they work. The texture is a little bit different. It's not really like a table runner texture. It's definitely a scarf texture, but I think it just adds to the warmth and the coziness. But the thing that I added that tied in that blue element that I think is just right on theme is thistle branches. So they're really beautiful. They add that natural element. They give it a little bit of texture, like because they're kind of like whimsical and they add some movement to the tree. They add that hint of blue, but also, isn't it sweet? Like away they all flew like the down of a thistle. Something else that I don't normally do, but I added this year, I changed out my lampshades from the regular boring white to a velvet dark green with a gold interior lampshade. It makes it so cozy in here. It's one of my favorite things that I added this year. Anytime I change out a lampshade, it's expensive, it's sort of an investment, but I'm always so grateful that I did it. It just totally changes the feel of a home. This year I also added these hurricane candle vases. I felt like they were very Ralph Lauren, sort of a knockoff dupe, maybe to, I don't know, more Pottery Barn than Ralph Lauren probably. I added coffee table books. That's something I don't usually decorate with, but something I've been wanting to decorate with for a long time. So I invested in a couple of those. And again, I added in some natural elements with the pine cones, the cinnamon sticks, and for the first time ever, I dried oranges, which it was sort of fun and crafty. Unless you like that kind of thing, I don't think I would recommend it. I would say buy them for $10 a bag on Amazon. And I can't forget about baby Jesus in the manger. This is such a fun tradition if you have kids. It's called Soft Enough for a King, and it comes with the manger and Jesus and a little story. And then it comes with these little pieces of like hay. And when your kid does something nice, you can write it on a little piece and tear it off and put it in the manger, and then at the end of the season you have a bed that is soft enough for a king. And the great thing is they love to, or Eloise at least, loves to find kind things that she can do, helpful things that she can do, because she really wants Jesus to have a soft little bed. The dining room video, you saw me decorate this antique secretary, which was another Facebook marketplace find that I just absolutely love. It fills this space perfectly. You also saw me add in this lamp, another Facebook market find just from this year. I love that. I feel like, talk about Ralph Lauren, I feel like this is something that would definitely be in a Ralph Lauren magazine. I think I hit the nail on the head with that one. A lot of things I strayed away from the theme, but that one, I think that one's spot on. One thing that you did not see in that video, because it just arrived recently, just in time, because I've started to get Christmas cards, which is my favorite. I love getting Christmas cards in the mail. I save them, I put them in a little book, I just love it. But what you did not see is this little Christmas card holder. I'm always looking for new ways to display Christmas cards. I've tried a lot of different things. Ribbons on the cabinets with like little safety pins. Is it safety pins? I think it's safety pins. I've tried, you know, like putting them on the refrigerator and hanging them from a pretty piece of ribbon. I've tried everything. But this by far is my favorite Christmas card display. It's like a gold wreath, and you just put all your Christmas cards in there. How cute is that? I love walking by that. Every time I see it, it makes me happy. Dining room. If you have not watched the decorating series, the dining room video, go back and watch that. You will see that I recovered some lampshades to go on the chandelier. I also show making this flower arrangement on the table, but I thought I would show you today in the home tour just a few little details that I didn't talk about in that video. So one thing are these red crystal plates and bowls. And it's so funny to me because you can buy these on that website replacements.com, and they sell them for like $25 a plate. Like they're these antique 1940s plates, because they do kind of have that look, right? Like an old crystal. These came from Target. They were like $4 15 years ago. So it just goes to show you, you know, I know that the thing right now is consumer culture and how we're always buying all kinds of stuff and it's just disposable. We just take it to Goodwill. But honestly, I feel like for decor, if you like to decorate, if it's nostalgic for you, you like to pull out the same things every year, if you like to make memories with your families, then maybe your kids would even want it to inherit some of those pieces that they're used to seeing every year. I think this is just a prime example of if you buy something that you really love, that's good quality, that's a timeless piece, you can pull it out every single year, and your $4 dish can be a $20 dish in time. If you watched the dining room decorating video, you did not see these candlestick holders because I got them after I put the video out. But check these things out. They're gorgeous. I found them on Facebook Marketplace. They're solid brass. The glass fits in them perfectly. This is one of those pieces that I'm going to leave out after Christmas, and I will probably have this unless it breaks. Fingers crossed. I will probably have this the rest of my life. So this is a good example of the fresh versus the faux magnolia leaves. So this is the fresh that has dried out, and you can see they're kind of shriveled up. I still think they're really pretty. You see more of the brown, and they have that like velvet backing, like, you know, just a magnolia leaf. I don't know, I still think they're pretty, but maybe a fire hazard. So on anything that had lights, I did switch them out to this faux magnolia leaf, and honestly, I think from a distance you really can't tell a difference. Our stockings and our tree skirt are from Hobby Lobby. It's that, I think it's the Robert Stanley with the black tag. Do you know what I'm talking about? I think it's that brand. It was from years ago. They used to make the best quality stockings and tree skirts. So I wish you could feel this. It's velvet and this beautiful tapestry, and the back is velvet and it has the cord. Just, the best quality. But they don't sell them anymore. So these are one of those items in my house that's like dry clean only. Especially the tree skirt, because our dogs love to sleep under the Christmas tree, which I don't blame them. It's so cozy, the lights, and you get to crawl under there and snuggle up and dig up that tree skirt. They love it. So we're hoping that Santa will bring them a new dog bed for Christmas that has like the little hood on it so they can crawl back in there, like a little cozy space for them. So they've been good girls this year. This is a little buffet that we have set up in the kitchen. When we have parties or a lot of family over, this is where I usually put the punch, the drinks, the desserts. It adds a lot of nice storage as well for small appliances and bowls and pans, and you can never have enough storage in your kitchen, right? I will say, if this is interesting to anybody, this is a TV console, hence this little section right here from Big Lots. It was gray. We painted it with oil-based paint, and we added some little legs to it from Lowe's, and it completely changed the look. And the reason I bought it is because of these, I think they're called Cremon bolts, these like French knobs, these French bolts. I thought they were beautiful, and even though the piece wasn't beautiful, it was like gray particle board, I knew that I could do something with it. So sometimes, you know, you just look at the bones of a piece, look at the structure. And a little spray paint will just take care of everything. Or oil base. I really love oil base because it creates like a hard lacquer finish. So for a piece like this that I'm wiping down all the time, that's getting sticky desserts and punch on it, it's nice to have the oil base finish. So this, oh, here we go. Meet Mike and Alice, our kindness elves. They must have flown over here to this bowl. They fly all around this house, guys. You never know where they're going to end up. Another good thing about Mike and Alice is you can touch them. They do not lose their magic. When you're kind, you have magic all the time. So this is another place in my house that you'll find the tartan, the red and green tartan, which I think is very Ralph Lauren. And I do feel like this is a classy look. This three-tiered stand and this cake stand, their front gate, they're heavy, they're large. I think having the right scale really elevates a space. I think a lot of times the reason that someone's like decor can look kind of cheap is because you'll have like a large table with a really small piece, like a small tier tray. So I think that's the thing that makes this front gate stuff beautiful. Not only that it's just great quality materials, very heavy, but it's large, it's really to scale. So I think that's beautiful. I think this is really elegant. I think the setup is really elegant. I think it's balanced. I don't think it's Ralph Lauren. I think the color is very Ralph Lauren. I think adding the elements, like the natural elements, the pine to Ralph Lauren. I don't see Ralph Lauren doing, like decorating a three-tiered tray. I just don't. I think a Ralph Lauren kitchen would be more functional. So you would see stacks of plates or silverware in a pretty little container. You may see like the dining room table, how I have it very formally set. I don't think you would see that with Ralph Lauren. Like you may have formal, expensive plates, but I think it would be set in more of a way, like an inviting way. Like you feel like you're ready to go in and sit down and have dinner. Mine looks a little like Better Homes and Garden-ish. Like, I mean, I shouldn't say that. Like there's nothing, I love Better Homes and Garden. But it looks a little too staged, if that makes sense. It's not, because we live here and we eat off of it, and I know that. But if you just came in and saw that, I don't think you would feel that warm, inviting, like let me sit down and have dinner. And that's why when we have parties, I move everything off the table. I set it up a little bit differently. Still fancy and formal, because that's just my style, especially around Christmas, but in a way that you feel like you can grab a crystal plate and take it and sit down and eat and have some good conversation, some drinks. So while I don't think this is Ralph Lauren, I do think it's elegant, and I think the colors work. So I think I could still call that video a Ralph Lauren video. Another eBay edition this year that I'm loving, because I have wanted for so long to start a collection of copper pots and pans. These are some antique copper. I have not done my copper research, so I don't know if I would say that they're the best quality, but I think they were affordable on eBay, and I think they're really pretty. So I'll have to research it a little bit more. I may start adding more expensive pieces and then phase these out. If they're not good quality, I would actually like to cook in my copper pans as well, so display them. But I like when things are pretty and you can display them, but they're also really functional. So I'm hoping that that's what this will be. If you didn't watch my kitchen decorating video, then you didn't see that this is a faux backsplash. We like to change our backsplash out with just cardboard and peel and stick paper. I wouldn't recommend it. It may be a fire hazard. We've never personally had any problems with that. I did see a video that if the buttons of your stove are in the front and you might hit them as you're walking by, you definitely do not want to have anything, no cutting boards or anything around your stove, because you never know if you might knock it. And you know, anything can happen. So better safe than sorry, but I will say it's beautiful and it's worked for us. Another addition this year, which I think would maybe be, I don't know if it's a Ralph Lauren kitchen or maybe more of like a Nancy Myers feel, but the, you know, I just like dark wood. I like dark wood furniture, dark wood floors. I never got into the gray, and then I never got into the whole like McGee coal, light and airy, like with the floors and stuff. I just never got into that for whatever reason. I've always really liked the dark stuff. So I added some dark wooden spatulas because I'm on it with like the no toxins. I don't know, I'm trying to get on board with that. No toxins, so wooden cooking utensils. And then the thing of flour and the stack of cookbooks. I don't know, I think Ralph Lauren might approve of that. Nancy Meyer would definitely approve of that. I love to see stacks of cookbooks in kitchens. I had the William and Sonoma books for a really long time. I always say 10 or 15 years. That's when I started buying stuff for my home. And then every year I try to add a book to it. And I always have the best of intentions of cooking a recipe out of it. And I'll just leave it at that. A lot of you liked my little coffee pod holding reindeer, and I have to agree. I think he's really cute. This came from Hobby Lobby several years ago, maybe 2 years ago or 3, whenever they were really big on all the reindeer. Then the plaid plates, they're melamine, and they came from, I think, TJ Maxx or Marshall's. The tartan backdrop in our china cabinet is a piece of cardboard that's covered in a Lynbrook plaid throw from Pottery Barn. So unfortunately, they've retired the Lynbrook plaid. They do that from time to time with plaids, which is so frustrating because their items are very expensive. They're investment pieces. So if one year, which this happened to me, one year I saved up and I was able to purchase a duvet cover, I couldn't wait until the next year. I would save up some more money and buy just a piece at a time here and there. I couldn't even afford any of the pillowcases, any of the Euros. I could only get the duvet. The next year, they retired the pattern. So I was stuck with this duvet and nothing to match it. And if you've seen any of my videos, you know that I'm very matchy-matchy. I love for things to match and coordinate all throughout my house. So I will say, if you're going to buy something from Pottery Barn, save up your money. If you're matchy like me, save up your money, buy everything all at once. Let that be like Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, Happy Hanukkah, whatever, like all of the things to you, because it is very expensive, at least in my budget. I think it's pretty expensive, but I do like it. I like the quality, and I love the style. It's just hard to beat Pottery Barn style, right? Every now and again you can find a dupe. Get those, because you really can find things that look identical to what they sell at Pottery Barn, but usually not material. So I have yet to find bedding, throws, that kind of stuff. Any kind of material. It's hard to beat Pottery Barn. Okay, and now for the bedroom. The bedding is Pottery Barn. We've got the Lynbrook plaid duvet cover, and then this is a red velvet duvet cover. I'm not sure if they still have that or not. The crushed red velvet throw pillows are from At Home, so they probably still have those. The curtain behind the bed is from Amazon, and I think we actually have 2 curtain rods. So we have one on the wall and one on the ceiling, and that's how we get that draped effect. I think they're all up there with command hooks. So, I mean, that's a simple way to kind of change things up a little bit, but you don't have to completely commit to it. And the elf tree. A lot of you guys have been asking, where did you get those elves? Hobby Lobby. I don't know if they have them anymore. It's so hard for me to link my stuff because it's all so old, but I think that's a good sign. I think when you buy quality pieces, you have them for a really long time, and you just never get tired of those timeless quality pieces. Next year, I may do a video of just going to different stores and shopping to say, if I were buying home decor for the very first time and this was the selection, what would I buy? What are those things that I feel like they're timeless? I'll pull those back out. That's not trendy. It's not a fad. It's not going to end up at Goodwill or in a yard sale. So I may do a video like that next year. Let me know if you'd be interested in something like that. The video where we decorated our master bathroom just off of our master bedroom. Again, we went with the elf theme. Everything kind of matches and coordinates. If you haven't seen that video, go back and watch it. It's a really cute one. There's a lot of things that I could say about my bathroom because we built this house in 2016 and Joe and I both, we chose everything, every little detail. And my bathroom, it's one of those spaces that I really put a lot of my heart into. There were a lot of pieces that were like real finds that I found online. We converted an antique buffet into a vanity. The matching china cabinet into just like a cabinet to hold towels and linens. The bathtub came from Wayfair actually. But it's this beautiful, it's a pedestal tub, but it's that cast iron. You know, it gives that feel of that old-fashioned clawfoot tub. I think the pedestal, I don't think it's trendy. I think it really will stand the test of time. Come back in 20 years. I'll let you know if it compares to the clawfoot. Because, you know, you can go right now and get a clawfoot tub. And it's still like the best, most beautiful tub. Even the fixtures. So, like, the bronze fixtures, you know, we went with the, I don't know what they call them. I can't remember now. But it's like the X hot cold like handles. Anyway, I found this chair, this antique chair that I have in the bathroom, which is really nice just to like lay your robe on or lay a towel on. It's one of my favorite places to just relax, to come and take a bath. We put dimmers on the light switches. So yeah, I could say a lot about the entire house, but really the bathroom, because there were a lot of like hand selected pieces. We actually changed the layout and from the floor plan for the bathroom because I wanted sort of a hallway. We made one door smaller and one door bigger as you're coming to the bathtub, and we put the chandelier not over the bathtub but center to the bathtub to give that sort of Disney effect, like that you're walking up to it, like the grandeur. So just a lot of thought went into this space. So I hope when you see it that, I don't know, somehow you feel that through the camera. Dog room. So this is the last decorating video that we just posted. This was such a fun room to decorate, and always is, just because it's so whimsical. The wallpaper and the wolf letters on the wall and the dog pictures and the little dog stocking holders on the wall. Like their little tails. I don't know, I just think it's so cute. Most of the, I call it cutesy stuff, like the rugs that say happy holidays and the dogs that say things like, you know, happy holidays, so many days till Christmas. I forget what the ones in the half bath say, but most of those came from Big Lots. So a couple of years ago, Big Lots had this huge collection of black and white and red dog Christmas stuff. And I just bought it all. So I guess I just couldn't resist. I don't know. And from that, I created this theme. So I went with the buffalo plaid. That's not something that I would typically do. Even when it was really popular, I wasn't really a buffalo plaid fan. However, I think in this case, it really works. I do like the red and black. I'm not typically a fan of the white and black, but I think because of the white and the black wallpaper and the white and the bronze and the black and just all the stuff that we have in here, I think it really works. I think it's giving more of that, not necessarily like classy, timeless, elegant, but I think it's giving that like firehouse dog. I don't know. I think it just gives cute. And, you know, sometimes when you have a house that's really formal, it's nice to have a fun little whimsical space. So the dog house at the bottom came from Amazon, and it's one of those that you just piece together really cheap, not great quality. We painted the roof black, the inside black, and then we painted the outside red. We cut a hole in the top. I'll say we. Joe cut a hole in the top. We found this little pencil tree at Big Lots, and he managed to somehow get it to fit in there and also be secure. It has just created the cutest little, isn't this just the cutest little tree? And then we did lots of dog theme ornaments. So I got these clear plastic ornaments that open up. We filled those with milk bones. And surprisingly, we leave this tree completely decorated in the garage, and nothing has crawled in here and ate the milk bones. So, I don't know. You know, you never know with those kind of things. Somewhere I found these cute little dog ornaments with the little puppy dogs on them. And then I made these are not the best quality. Spray painted them white and did some little black paw prints, but they're cute. Okay, so I think that's going to be it for the home tour. This is the first time I've ever done a tour like this. So many of you had questions about how I did things or where stuff came from, and I wasn't able to link a lot of it. So I thought I would just do a tour where I could walk around and talk to you a little bit and kind of answer some of those questions. I hope you enjoyed it. Normally it's just video and music, and I do plan on posting that video as well if that's more your style. But I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope you have a very Merry Christmas.